Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss the question answer of your PT1 exam of social science. As you all know, the paper has been divided into two parts, that is section A and section B. Section A consists of 1 marks question that we will be discussing first. So, here is the first question of section A. The Constitution of India recognizes dash as the form of government in India. The options are dictatorship, monarchy, communist and democratic. As we all know that in India we all elect our representative through vote, which is not possible in a form of government that is dictatorship, monarchy or communist. So the correct answer will be democratic, which India follows as a form of government. The second question is, right to dash is the fundamental right and a prerequisite of democracy. The options are right to property, right to equality, right to differentiate and right to inequality. Right to property is not a fundamental right in our constitution, as every citizen is not supposed to have a property of their own. Next is right to equality, which means every citizen needs to be treated with equality. There should be no differentiation in terms on the basis of caste, creed, religion or gender. Right to differentiate, so we don't have the right to differentiate in our country for any people. We cannot differentiate any people stating he or she is a male or female or of any particular religion or caste. And same is right to inequality. Therefore the correct answer will be right to equality. That is, right to equality is the fundamental right and a prerequisite of democracy. The third one is the Indian Constitution provides dash equality by its policy of non-interference in the religious matters of any religious community. Options are religious, political, economic and social. So, in India, the constitution does not interfere in any religious matter, as India is a secular country and it gives equal freedom to every religion. It does not interfere in any matter of any religion and community. Therefore, the correct option will be religious. Question number 4. Every citizen who has attained the age of dash years and above has the right to vote in the elections. In India, there is a concept of universal adult suffrage, which means all citizens who are 18 years and above has the right to vote. Therefore, the correct answer will be 18. It varies from country to country. Every country has different age limitations for giving the vote, whosoever is a democratic country. The next question is question number 5. Every person deserves to be treated with dignity, differences, acceptance and discrimination. So in India, equality is possible. As you all know, equality is the fundamental right of every citizen. Therefore, equality cannot be possible if people are not treated with dignity. Therefore, the correct answer will be dignity. Question number 6. All citizens are equal before the law. This is a prerequisite of democracy, dictatorship, monarchy and communism. So, in India, as we all know, people elect their representative and they all has been given equal rights. Everyone is equal before the law, which is a prerequisite of democracy form of government. In dictatorship, citizens are not equal. There is single party who rule. In monarchy also king rule and the decision may vary according to them, same as in communism. Therefore, the correct option will be democracy. Question number 7. Sometimes people are denied job opportunity in some companies on the basis of their religion. It denies the right to dash equality. So, when people are denied on the basis of their religion, it hurts their religious equality and not social, economic and gender. Therefore, the correct option will be religious. Question number 8. Civil rights movement of United States of America was based on dash discrimination. So in America, the people were discriminated not on the basis of social, economic, or gender, but on the basis of races, which means the people who came from different countries, like from Africa and other countries, who were black in color, they were differentiated, and it was termed as black and white differences on the basis of races. So the correct answer is going to be racial discrimination. Jhutan is an autobiography of Dada Saheb Ambedkar, Om Prakash Valmiki, Vinoba Bhave, or Mahatma Gandhi. So, we have studied in the chapter the story of Om Prakash Valmiki, who was a Dalit boy who was discriminated in his school, and he wrote an autobiography of his own named as Jhutan. Therefore, the correct answer is Om Prakash Valmiki. Question number 10. Equal access to government education centers and jobs promote economic equality, gender equality, economic and social inequality, or none of the above. So, government education centers and jobs promote not only financially, that is economic equality, or to a particular gender, only gender equality, that is for both male and female, but it provides both social as well as economic equality in the country. Question number 11. Midday meal program was started in dash in 2001. So the options are Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. So midday meal program was first started in Tamil Nadu. We have studied in the story of given in the book also, which provides food to the children coming to the school for education. One time meal is provided to them, which is known as midday meal scheme, to make the children educate and literate. So it was a scheme started first in Tamil Nadu, and then other states also started following the same. Question number 12. Jandhan Yojana and Gramin Berojgar Yojana was implemented recently by the Government of India to uplift the dash poor families, big landowners, middle class people, or the migrants. So, the poor Jandhan Yojana and Gramin Berojgar Yojana is an scheme started by the government to uplift the weaker sections of the society. Big landowners or middle class or the migrants were not facing any issues as such of income. It was made especially for the people who belong to poor families. So, the correct answer is going to be poor families. Option number 13. Question number 13. Dash says that every citizen is equal before law. Options are Article 312, Article 8, Article 376 and Article 14. So, the Indian Constitution, Article number 14 to 17 talks about equality. And in Article number 14, it is said that every citizen is equal before law. Therefore, the correct answer is Article number 14, option number D. Question number 14. The kingdom that held for 400 years between 8th and 12th century was that of Chalukyas, Pratiharas, Palas and Pallavas. So between 400 in the year for 400 years between 8th to 12th century, Palas were the kingdom that ruled, as the Chalukyas, Pratiharas or Pallavas either came late or has not continued for 400 years for such a long duration. Therefore, the correct answer is Palas. Question number 15. The reign of Dash is called the golden age of the history of Karnataka. Options are Chalukyas, Pratiharas, Palas and Parmaras. So here Pratiharas continued not for long time, Palas though continued, but in the other parts of the country, and same is with Parmaras. So in Karnataka, Chalukya was the ruler who continued and who ruled for a long period of time and has created a history and developed and expanded the territory to a large area. Therefore, in Karnataka, if we talk about, Chalukya was the ruler who was very much famous. So the correct answer is Chalukya. Question number 16. Which king occupied Chalukya territory and forced them to pay a yearly tribute and accepted Pallava overlordship? So the correct answer here will be Parmeshwarvarman, as he was the one who ruled in and occupied the Chalukya territory as well, and to make them rule, it was decided that they have to pay some yearly tribute to the king of the other dynasty, of the other kingdom. Question number 17. Mahmud of Ghazni plundered India dash times. Options are 30, 17, 7 and 27. So Mahmud of Ghazni was a person or a ruler who came from Ghazni, Afghanistan, and he plundered most of the wealth of India, and almost for the 17 times he has plundered the wealth of India. He took away the Kohinoor and many other precious wealth from India. So the correct answer is 17. Qutbuddin Aibak was the slave of Dash. Mahmud of Ghazni, Muhammad Ghori, Babur or Ibrahim Lodi. Mahmud of Ghazni was someone who just came and plundered the wealth of India, and in no way Qutbuddin Aibak was a slave. Next is Babur and Ibrahim Lodi. So Babur was a person who belonged to Mughal ruler, and he himself has ruled India. Ibrahim Lodi again was a person from the Delhi dynasty, Delhi Sultanate, who has ruled India. So Muhammad Ghori was the one who has defeated Prithviraj Chauhan, and his slave was Qutbuddin Aibak, who took the territory of India after the death of Muhammad Ghori by Prithviraj Chauhan. So the correct answer is Muhammad Ghori. Question number 19. In the year dash, Mahmud became the king of the meaning of Ghazni. So Ghazni is a place, as we all know, and Mahmud became the king of that place in the year 1998. Next is question number 20. The worship of Lord Dash increased the popularity in the Chola kingdom. Options are Vishnu, Shiva, Lakshmi and Sun. So in south, especially in the Chola kingdom, Lord Shiva was worshipped a lot. If we talk about Lord Vishnu, so he was worshipped more in the parts of North India, that is towards the Orissa side. He was worshipped a lot, and same is with the other Lord, that is Lakshmi and Sun. But for Lord Shiva, Chola kingdom was very much popular. Therefore, the correct answer is Lord Shiva. Question number 21. The greatest achievement of Dash included the conquest of Andaman and Nicobar Island. Rajendra Chola, Vijayalaya, Vimaladitya and Vikramaditya. So as Vijayalaya was the founder, he has been a very famous ruler, but his son Rajendra Chola was the person who has expanded the territory to a large area, not only to Nicobar Island, Andaman and Nicobar Island, but to the other eastern parts of the India, that is towards the other countries also, Sri Lanka and many other parts of the world. So which was closer to India. Therefore, Rajendra Chola will be the correct answer. Now, who was the founder of Chola dynasty? Options are Vijayalaya, Rajendra Chola, Vimaladitya and Rajaraja. So Rajendra Chola was son of Vijayalaya, and same is Rajaraja, who Vimaladitya is not belonging to Chola dynasty. Therefore, the correct answer is Vijayalaya, who was the founder of Chola dynasty. Next, which is the following of dynasty who did not belong to Agnikul clans of Rajput? There were 4 Agnikul clans of Rajput: Chalukyas, Parmars, Gurjara Pratiharas were all belonging to the Agnikul clans, but Palas were the one who was not a part of the Agnikul clans of Rajput. They ruled in the part of Odisha. So the correct answer is Palas. Question number 24. In Chola dynasty, groups of villages called Ur formed larger units called dash. Region, territory, bhaga or nadu. So region is an area, territory means an area, the boundary of an area. Bhaga is called share, and Ur means group of peasants, and when a group of peasants at different areas come together, it forms Nadu. So the correct answer is Nadu. Rich peasants of Das caste exercise control over the affairs of Nadus, Velala, Mundevelan, Muvendalan, Araya and Gram. So Velala is a caste of rich peasants who used to control or exercise control over the affairs of the Nadus. Nadus, which is a group of peasants or the farmers at a large area. Therefore, the correct option is Velalas. Next, question number 26. Brahmins received land grants were known as Nagarams, Brahmadaya, Arayar or none of these. So every person who used to do something good used to receive some gift from the king. Basically, king used to give them lands. So the lands which was gifted to the Brahmins were named as Brahmadaya. Therefore, the correct answer is Brahmadaya. Question number 27. The word dash refers to the surrounding in which living and non-living thing exist. Atmosphere, climate, environment and lithosphere. Atmosphere means air. Climate is again related with the atmosphere. Lithosphere is land area. So the correct option is environment, which means a place where both living and non-living thing exist. Question number 28. Which of the following is not an abiotic factor? Abiotic means those natural things which has no life in them. So land is a natural thing but has no life in them. Water is again a natural thing but has no life in them. Algae is a natural thing but has life in it. So algae is not an abiotic factor. Question number 29. What is the average thickness of the continental crust? 30 to 40 kilometer, 45 to 50, 75 to 80 or 80 to 85. So continental crust is a layer of the earth under which you can find rocks, minerals and other important resources. So it has been extended till the length or to the distance of 30 to 40 kilometers. So the average thickness of continental crust is 30 to 40 kilometer. Question number 30. Which one of the following does not belong to hydrosphere? Oceans, lakes, rocks and rivers. Hydrosphere refers to water. In simple terms, we can say water as hydrosphere. So oceans again has water, lakes has water and rivers as well has water. Therefore, the correct option is rocks. Question number 31. Which is the solid rock surface of the earth? Hydrosphere, lithosphere, atmosphere or biosphere? Hydrosphere, solid rock surface means something that is solid on which you can stand upon. So hydrosphere refers to water where you cannot stand. Atmosphere is air, obviously that you breathe. Biosphere means where land, air and water comes together. Here lithosphere is land on which you can live, which is rock, which is solid. Therefore, the correct option is lithosphere. Question number 32. The continental crust is dashed than oceanic crust, thicker, thinner, heavier or upwards. The earth, as you all know, has been divided into core, mantle and crust, and the crust has been divided further into two parts. Somewhere on the crust on which we live, somewhere there is land and somewhere we have water. So obviously the land area under the oceans is less thicker as compared to the land on which we live, on where we grow plants and we build our houses. Therefore, the continental crust is thicker as compared to the oceanic crust. Question number 33. An animal which feeds on plants called herbivores, omnivores, carnivores or wild animals. So a plant which is an animal which is dependent on plants to survive their life are called herbivores, as omnivores are those which eat both plant and animals, and carnivores are the one which eats only animals. Wild animals are the animals living in forest area. Therefore, the correct option is herbivores. Which one of the following is an effect of global warming? So what does global warming mean? It means with the increase in temperature, when the glaciers starts melting down, when the temperature increases because of excessive use of vehicles or industries emitting harmful or polluted gas, the amount of carbon dioxide increases in the atmosphere. When it increases, global warming takes place, and because of that, ices melt on the glaciers, that is Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle. And when the ices will melt down, it will increase the sea level, the water level in the oceans will rise up, which is an effect of global warming. That takes place because of increase in temperature. Rising population and rising unemployment is not an any reason, because a population may be a reason because of which temperature is increasing. Demand for goods increases, therefore use of industries also gets increased. Unemployment is a problem of population, and rising sea level is an effect of global warming. So the correct option is rising sea levels. Question number 35. Which one of the following activities does not cause deforestation? Mining, lumbering, mentoring, or none of the above? Mining means, first we understand the meaning of deforestation, which means cutting down of forest. So which of the following does not lead to deforestation? Mining means when we dig the earth for taking out the resources like oil, petroleum, coal, and so on. So it is not possible until we'll cut down the forest area to take out the resources. Therefore, deforestation will take place. Lumbering is same again, when we cut down the forest and take the lumbering means cutting down the forest or the woods for making furnitures and so on. Mentoring means when there is someone, a person who guides you, who mentors you towards taking the correct decision or in challenges in your life. Therefore, that does not cause any deforestation. Here, the correct option is mentoring. Question number 36. The pollution has led to increase in the amount of oxygen, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, or nitrogen. Oxygen is a type of air present in atmosphere which helps us to breathe. Hydrogen and nitrogen again has a different function, but with the increase in amount of pollution made by human beings through vehicles or through industries leads to the increase in amount of carbon dioxide, which is very harmful. Therefore the option is carbon dioxide. Question number 37. The natural environment consists of dash: biotic and abiotic factors, only hydrosphere, only atmosphere, or only lithosphere. So natural environment means all those things that we see around ourselves which has been provided by nature. So water although is provided to us by nature, atmosphere again the air is provided to us by nature, and the land also is provided to us by the nature only. But here biotic and abiotic factors means all those natural things which has life or which does not have, which includes both all the three: atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, as well as the human beings and plants and animals. So the correct option is biotic and abiotic factors. Question number 38. Wind energy, solar energy, recycling of waste, etc. are the dash energy sources: renewable, degradable, natural, or artificial. So renewable means, which means those resources which can be used again and again. Degradable, that can be mixed with the nature. Natural, which we get from nature, and artificial, created by human beings. So wind energy, solar energy, or recycling of waste are something which can be done again and again, which can be used again and again. So the option will be renewable. Hydrosphere covers nearly dash of the Earth's surface, 29%, 71%, 90%, or 24%. So, hydrosphere is water, and you all know that our Earth is covered with good amount of water in the form of oceans and which is present in the form of oceans, rivers, lakes, and so on. And the rest is we have land on which we have mountains and so on. So almost 71% of the Earth's surface is covered with water, that is hydrosphere. Therefore, the correct option is option number B, 71%. DAS provides us with various minerals, land as raw materials for industries, and natural gases and crude oil. Options are hydrosphere, environment, atmosphere, and lithosphere. So, hydrosphere is water, environment means all the things that we see around ourselves, atmosphere is air, which don't provide us mineral. The last is lithosphere, which means land, and when we dig the earth's surface, the land, we get minerals and we get land also for raw materials for industries, natural gases, and crude oil, coal, and mineral, and everything. So, the correct option is lithosphere. I hope you all have done the same that we discussed over here. Thank you.